So, hi Debbie, hi Uri. This is the first time we are recording this in three, and I really wonder how it turns. So, let me first start with introduction, Debbie, and then I hope she will help us to fix it because this is what I find out on the internet. Actually, I'm following you, I don't know, maybe 2 years
Wow.
or 1.5 year, because I just noticed that you pop up around Playwright first. And then I find out that you was part of Nuxt team,
Mm.
and this is one of the development framework I'm using. And I find out that you are pretty fan of sports and living in Spain in Mallorca. So that's what I find out, and it was pretty inspirational for me. So I was then watching all the videos, interviews, and so on. So who is Debbie?
I mean, everything you said is true. Yes, I'm Irish, living in Mallorca, and I absolutely love Playwright, and obviously trying to make the world test their applications and get them all to use Playwright and do testing. And I come from the front end world, so yes, before previously in Nuxt, and working in agencies as well, making sure that people are writing better code, leading teams across different companies, and and yeah, front end is my passion, coding is my passion, but I also do have an amazing life where sport is a big part of my life and a big part of my passion. So I tend to try and do 3 hours of sport a day, and get outside, not in the gym, but actually out into the mountains, onto the roads, and running, cycling, whatever I can, just to be like, not just sitting in a room all day, right? Be out in nature, get more creative, get more ideas. But yeah, that's me.
And did I catch it right? 3 hours a day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't always get to 3 hours. Today, I only did an hour and a half. I might do more later, but yeah, I tried it in 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
But how this could work when you travel? Because I expect that you travel a lot
Yeah,
because of
it's really
conferences.
hard. So when I go to conferences, I bring my shoes with me for running, and then I'll try and do a 5 or 10K run. So it could only be like a half hour or an hour because the conference day is so busy. But the good thing about a conference day is you're moving all the time. So at least you're kind of, you don't need to do as much sport. But well, I have a standing desk as well, but I'm pretty much in one place for like so many hours a day. So I feel I
Wow,
need to do double the amount of sport as a normal person just to be, normal.
that's a bit crazy. Yeah, interesting. And are you also racing, or this is just you just train without any race?
So I actually did a half marathon on Sunday. That was my first one,
Wow,
in
wow,
2 hours and 1 minute. Super proud of myself. It was so
wow.
hard. It was really easy until like 17.5 kilometers. And then it was like,
Mm.
oh my God, I can't finish. It's too much. I can't do it. It's a lot of mental work, and you really have to just tell yourself, come on, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. If I had said like 3 kilometers more, I would have given up. But just half a kilometer more, just to the traffic lights, just to the next sign, just to there. And then
Wow.
like towards the finish line, I just sprinted and ran through, and then
Yeah.
my legs were like jelly. I couldn't move. I was like, oh my God, I'm dead. It was
Actually,
cool though.
I'm running half in here in Prague next weekend as well. So
Nice.
I'm really looking forward for that as well. So, okay. So that's about the sport. Any other type of discipline like running and cycling? You are on Mallorca, I would expect that you also maybe swim, or what are the other
Yeah,
sports?
I mean, I swim in the pool, but that's normally like a swimming break, like a pool break, not in a
Uh,
competitive sport way. So just a nice like 15 minutes little swim or in the sea or whatever.
mhm,
But I do play paddle. It's a very big sport here in Spain and in South America, and it's getting towards more European countries now. It's kind of like a
mhm,
mixture of tennis and squash.
uh-huh.
Really, really fun games. So today I had a class, and I could play a match later on today. So you see, that's how you can go for a run and then play paddle and mix the two together,
Wow.
different sports. In the winter, skiing as well. I absolutely love skiing. That's one of my favorite sports.
I see.
And how do you reserve the time? Because I'm a little bit struggling. Still, I have the answer that why I don't have a time for sports. And you have like probably a lot of time. How do I reserve the time?
Because I use Playwright to write my tests, so all my
Uh,
code is good. No, when it comes to
Okay.
time, you have to find time. Um, we make time disappear in unimportant things. So I will tell you that I do not spend more than an hour a day watching Netflix. End of story. 45 minutes,
That's
and I'll do my sport
still
instead.
Yeah, I see, but 1 hour on Netflix, it's still pretty
Yeah, I
nice.
don't I
Yeah,
don't play
yes.
computer games.
Uh,
I don't spend a lot of time on social media as much as I, open Twitter and stuff and do that.
yeah.
I don't have TikTok, I don't have Instagram. I kind of limit it to like having the least amount of time on social media so I have more time to live and be a person rather than just be stuck in tech all the time.
Strong discipline, right?
Hmm. But I
So
also
let's.
love sports. It's like I much prefer I going for a run for an hour is enjoyable for me. When I finish, I just like even just while I'm running, I actually like it. My head starts, thinking about things I need to do and what I've done, and it's really nice.
I had to agree. So let's move from the
Okay.
sporting to different topic, which is related to your career. You
Hmm.
was developer, or at least you
Yep.
train
Front end developer. Yeah.
developers, yeah,
Yes.
and then you move to testing. And this is not this is opposite direction I'm used to. A lot of testers moving to
Interesting.
development or management, and you are going against that mainstream, I would say, against all the others.
It
How it happened, why, and basically
so
why.
about like I think it's now 2017, so almost 6 years ago, is when I gave up all my. I was a front end developer with HTML, CSS only, and I was also teaching English because I needed money and I wasn't earning a lot of money. So I had like those jobs, gave those up, and went into full time studying to do like a front end tech degree and a full stack tech degree in order to learn everything that was like more modern JavaScript, Node,
Mhm,
etc. And part of those courses were testing. And testing was the hardest part of the whole curriculum. It was really hard, and it was like this is not easy, right? But I learned it and I did it, and then when I went into the companies, I was trying to take all the skills that I learned, but they weren't doing testing, right? They weren't doing this, and I was like, why are they not testing? I've just learned this. I know how to do it. Let's try and include testing into the companies I was working with. It was always a struggle, right? Because nobody else in the company knew how to test, right? So I was having to kind of teach them, and I'm not an expert. So I'm like, oh my God, I need to like, how do we best do this? I've just learned this, right? Um, and I think the more you start getting more people on board, more developers to see how this can help you. Like we used to have a team that was the bug fixing team. Like
mhm,
their job was just to fix bugs. But why do we need those people? I mean, we need the people, but we could have them doing something else. So
mhm,
why do we need a bug fixing team when we could write tests and have like, tests do the bug fixing jobs, and that team could be doing features and better stuff. So it was more about like trying to have better code, and we have bad code because we don't write tests the majority of time, right? We save time by writing tests, and I could see the benefits of it because I was taught that. If I hadn't have ever studied it, I probably wouldn't have, you know,
mhm.
thought about it or brought this into the companies. So yeah, in the companies that I was working with, every company I went to or every consulting I was doing, I was constantly bringing in testing and saying, we need to test. A lot of companies were saying, no, we don't have the money, we don't have the time, we don't have the experience, we don't have this. Let's get rid of testing. Let's just get features. Let's just make money. And it's hard, and it's still hard
Mhm.
today. But I think
Yeah.
testing is fun because of the tools that we have available to us today. Testing was not so much fun 5 years ago. I
But
think
there
testing
was,
is getting more and more fun.
yeah, but there was still some tools like we use Excel or even Word. I remember the Word using for the writing down all the test cases before we start manually checking whether it works or not. But
Yeah.
okay, so you joined the Playwright team maybe already 18 months ago or two
No,
years?
no, it's not even a year. It's like 10
Really?
months. Yeah, it's
Really?
like,
Okay.
yeah, 10 and a half months.
Okay, so almost 1 year. Let's make
Almost a year.
bigger
But it
than it
feels like
is.
I've been here forever. Like it's been incredible.
Um,
Time has just gone so fast, and yeah.
So let's move to that topic. What about the Playwright and the stuff? I noticed that yesterday you released new feature, and I noticed one more thing, and that you was a new like a video friend or YouTube friend for Andre, presenting all the new features there. Is it permanent or it's just like
I don't know. I
yeah?
mean, I think it depends on what the people want, right? If they, because I'm very different, right? I'm full of energy and life. So it's like, do you want to listen to me or do you want a nice relaxed? So I don't know. Let's just see how it goes. See if what people say in the comments and go from there. We might, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. And then maybe also let's talk about the UI mode. Is that a proper name for that? UI mode, or how do you call the feature? UI mode.
Yeah, UI mode.
Okay.
Yes.
That was one of my biggest assumptions or failures, because when I saw it, I said, okay, that's something they copied from Cypress because they want to compete. It's nothing special.
I wouldn't
And
say it
let me
like
let me
that.
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I'll tell you. I'll tell you the question then. And then I find out that all the social media just start blowing up.
Yeah.
And I saw this. I love it. I love it. I love it. There was so many
Insane.
people. Yeah, it was pretty strange for me because, and sometimes I'm not estimating right, or I'm guessing this will not succeed. And this looks like people really react quickly and very positively on that.
Yeah.
So what's that
What
about?
happened? No, what happened? I know, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's like, in less than 24 hours, there was like more than 6,000 views of the video, which is like insane. I think the tweet got over like 100,000 views. So absolutely insane. I personally knew that this was a killer feature because I'm a user more than, the engineer on the team, right? I'm the one that comes from like, this is how I'm testing, this is what I want. And I also speak to a lot of people when I go to the conferences, when I go on live streams, etc. So I speak a lot to the users. I work very closely to the users and I listen to what they want. And a lot of them are saying, we really want a watch mode. We really need a watch mode. And I bring that feedback back to the engineers to say, this is what our people want. They really want this. And, the engineers, they might agree, they might not agree, depending on the features, but they always look into it. And then it's like, okay, so what exactly do they want as a watch mode? So it's not just about, we want this feature. So it's kind of like, okay, well, how would you expect the feature to be, to be visible or to be used? And I remember watching Kent C. Dodds, for example, when I was showing him Playwright for the first time. And he was just like using it, and I was watching how he uses it. And when he saw the trace viewer, he was like, wow, this is so cool. But he was like, I want to use the trace viewer in development. I want this open all the time. I don't want to use this on CI. And the engineers are like, the trace viewer is for CI debugging. And it's like, it's not for development, it's not, that's not what it's for. And it's like, but this is what people want. Now, they never thought about it this way. So they built one feature that was meant for one thing that our users decided, but what if we could use this and do this? And then from that feedback, it was like, let's see if we can create a UI watch mode trace viewer all in one. And that's basically how it came about.
I see. But if you would ask me 2 weeks ago what I like more on Playwright than on Cypress, it was this, I would say, the quietness of running the tests. I really don't like the Cypress popping up with the window. I know that I could
Agree.
turn it off or run in headless as well, but Playwright is like running in parallel, headless, without any watching the test. Why I should watch the test? Okay, if I'm debugging it, yes, I need that. Otherwise, this really surprised me yesterday, how many people react positively. And then I have another kind of strange question. This is already maybe fourth UI application you introducing within the Playwright framework. First is that, or I'm not sure whether first, but CodeGen, Trace, VS Code plugin, and this is UI mode, which is kind of copy of maybe Trace.
It's a mixture of the trace viewer and VS Code kind of together.
Together,
yeah. But is it forked, or are you dropping the rest, or how it'll work all
No,
together?
like there's nothing is getting dropped. So everything is its own. It's just using the benefits, like what's working really well in one thing and how can we put it and build the other thing based on, one feature, for example. We have a lot of, we're getting like it's in preview, right? So we're getting feedback from our users. Some people are saying they'd love straight from VS Code to be able to like, you know, add a checkbox and then open the UI, like show browser, show UI. So we're looking into kind of that and collecting more feedback of how people want to use it, how we can improve it. What else? What did we not think of, right? Because we don't know everything. We don't know all the use cases out there. Maybe there's something we didn't think about that is like, wow, that just, you know, is the icing on the cake. So yeah, getting user feedback, really important. And yeah, like we're not dropping anything. No, we're just going to add and build and create more. But we'll create more things that our users ask us for, right? And it's really important, like if they want something, they need to say, hey, feature request, you know, people upvote it. That's what we'll kind of work on.
It looks that definitely it's not answer for Cypress that they have the UI, but it's based on the feedback from the users, right?
Yeah, I mean, even Vitest are doing some great work there as well, and I think they had a preview of a UI recently as well. So this UI, people want more visual. You know, they don't want to be using the terminal all the time. They want to have everyone, not everyone, but most people have like two screens now. So you got a screen open with your, you know, your UI mode and you've got your code, and you just look over and you see that green, everything's cool. You see the red, and you go, oh my gosh, I won't have a coffee right now. I'll keep working. But I think visually, we've gone into a world where visually things are much more important than the terminal world, even though some people do prefer just show it in the terminal and that's enough for me and that's enough for some people. But visual is it's much more fun. I like fun.
Okay, so what will be next? Another UI, or what's the future? What are the future features of the Playwright?
I don't know exactly, because again, I know I can't give away any secrets right now. No,
good politician answer.
Everything is open source, so you can just go to GitHub and you can follow along what we were doing. I know some people are looking for Cucumber. Maybe we might do that. I know some people are looking for what else are they? I don't know. We're going to basically, you know, go through what people are looking for. It takes time to build features, as you know. So it's not like something like, oh yeah, next month we'll have this, and next month we'll have this. It's more like, what's the next big thing that people want now that we haven't even finished UI mode, right? That's still in preview. We still have some extra work to do to make it, you know, better. But I would say if there's anything that people want to really get those feature requests in on GitHub or upvote ones that are there and tell us, so we can kind of prioritize one over another. Maybe it's visual regression testing. Maybe we might add more work into that. What do people want? I want to know what the people want, because we will work on what they want as opposed to what we want.
But for the visual testing, you have some basics. It's pretty
exactly
simple. You need to
it's
do
basic.
A lot of coding.
But we could make it better, and we can always make everything better. So what do we concentrate on? And that comes from our users. What about
self-healing? What about self-healing? Do you know self-healing, like dynamic updates of locators? So it's when it fails, it regenerates the new one. Are you discussing this type of topic or not at all?
Feature request on GitHub. You can start writing one.
And what about the future? Yes, there's a question. Like ChatGPT or Copilot, is there a plan to integrate it?
I mean, I would love to. Like already Copilot does a great job in actually, if you wanted to manually write your test, Copilot is literally, it will pretty much write it there for you. I use the code generator, so like behind the scenes that's generating all this stuff for me. So I very rarely manually write stuff. I would love to get our docs into the Copilot docs. So that's, you know, I've spoke to the GitHub team. I was like, put us in there next, because I think that's a killer feature as well, to be able to just, you know, write in there and have everything, you know, that you're looking for just pop up. And yeah, there's definitely, I think, like the code generator that we have, I think is an amazing tool. I definitely think that could be improved on. We could add assertions in there, maybe, you know, rather than just clicks, we could have like expect it to be visible if it's something that's not clickable, but we click on it. So there's a lot of work that we can do, and definitely, like, there's so much we can do. There's so many things to make better always. And the more we can use the tools that, you know, we have within Microsoft as well, like VS Code, etc., the better. So yeah, it's when we can kind of put more Copilot in there, put more ChatGPT in there, like definitely, you know, it's just a matter of time. ChatGPT needs to learn Playwright first, and then it'll be amazing.
But I guess it's still it's already could work, no? With ChatGPT, I'm using it daily for a lot of stuff, coding,
Me too.
Yes.
reviewing my English
I think it's not
contracts.
perfect yet with Playwright because it's still taking the previous version and it's not
Uh-huh.
as up to date because it's still
I see.
training, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's normal with AI. It has to learn and then it, has to go to the next levels. So I think it will get there definitely. And yeah, imagine just opening ChatGPT and saying, right, just, I don't know, speak it out and say, open this website and click on this button and do this and do this. I don't know. Will that day come? I don't know. Who knows?
And is ChatGPT, from your point of view, the future, and especially in the testing area, or how do you see the future of testing?
Well, I think AI is definitely like AI and less like developers writing code is definitely the future because there is so much work out there, right? And I think people are afraid to lose their jobs and things like that. And I know there's been a lot of like in the tech scene. So, but in general, there's still a lot of jobs in tech. And there's a lot of more work being created in tech. And it doesn't mean because we're creating these tools that we need less people. No, it means we can get more things done. And like we need to do more stuff, but we can't do it. So how can we leverage AI to help us deliver more and get more things out the door quicker? And I think we need to kind of think on that mindset. How can we get this tool to help us as a user, as a person building the product, in every way possible? The future is that everybody is writing tests because tests are so easy to write and don't take a long time to write and a long time to run. Because right now, we've got a lot better in running the tests. They're a lot quicker, running tests in parallel, Playwright, etc. And we're a lot quicker in getting people up and started with testing. But there are still a lot of companies out there and a lot of developers out there who have never written a test in their life, who don't know what testing is, who don't know how to get started, who don't have the time. And how can we get those developers to change that chip and think, actually, it's only going to take 5 minutes to write one test for that one feature. Let's do it. For that one page, for that login, right? For that payment, I need to pay money. Test that feature, test that one thing. That's the future. It's getting more people testing. We do that, we'll win the game.
The people are expecting that AI will do everything and we will relax on the beach. I'm not sure that this is the future, but maybe.
I mean, someone has to build the AI and tell the AI what to do. You can't just, So
Okay.
there's still work to do. But yeah, we will do more work, more valuable work. I think the AI and the co-pilot, for example, it takes away the boring, mundane, repetitive tasks, and it lets us be more creative and kind of really focus on the actual fun part. That's what I see. That's what I definitely feel when it comes to things like co-pilot. It helps me get rid of all the boring stuff.
And this is definitely what I see as well, that this type of AI and tools can help us a lot. And then we can have like more time for some creative job, because sometimes it's only like coding.
Yeah.
And we need the time, for inspiring things. Yeah, definitely. And tester as well.
It's like when Word, started doing spell checking, and then like you don't have to take out a dictionary and look for that's a boring task. Looking in a dictionary how to spell a word. Is it an I before an E or an E before an I? Who cares, right? Somebody just deal with that problem for me and make that word be spelled correctly, right? And that's kind of like what you have to think about AI. It's taking that unimportant task away that you don't need to know about and start actually writing code and being creative. And I think developers will be happier and go home at the end of the day feeling like, wow, I wrote great code with the help of AI, but I wrote great code and this is all we care about. This is cool. And I tested it, of course.
And what is your future? You would like to stay in testing?
Definitely. Obviously, you can't ask me that online. Oh my gosh. No, I'm super, super happy in the job I am. I swear to God, like literally in Microsoft, I absolutely love it. I think I'm very, very lucky to have access to so many teams within a company, to be able to, like, my job is not just kind of Playwright, right? But we kind of also are using like VS Code, and we're using, GitHub. We're using so many other things that I'm kind of not just stuck in one little area. I'm spread out over other areas, but I'm still learning. I don't know everything about Playwright yet. I still have a lot more to learn. The product is still growing. It's not at its peak. We're not there yet. I need to bring it to more people. So there's a hell of a lot of a journey that we still have to go through yet to get to the stage where the whole world knows Playwright exists and everybody's testing. And now it's like, what does Debbie do, right? Because everybody already knows how to do everything. It's a long way to go yet. So yeah, I have a lot of work ahead of me.
Maybe talking about that, working for Microsoft, you are fully remote, or how it works?
Yeah, I'm fully remote. I think I'm really, really lucky to be able to be like fully remote. Most of my team are in America. Some are kind of spread out in Europe as well. But in general, like we have a really good timetable. I mean, I've had to change my life around, of course, right? You know, I say to somebody here, I work hours until 9 o'clock at night, right? My time, and people say, "Oh my God, you have a terrible job," and I'm like, no, I get up in the morning when the sun is shining and I can go for a 3 hour cycle in the mountain. And then I come back, have my lunch, and go to work. That's amazing. Whereas some people finish their job and it's dark and then it's like, then they don't want to do sport, right? So I've just changed the way I live, and I live my life in the morning and then I work in the afternoons, and that it works perfect for me. I really like it. So yeah, it's good.
So maybe this is the future, flexibility and living your life as you wish, remotely
Yeah.
from everywhere we want. So maybe rather than talking about AI, I really like the topic of future of being flexible on that, where we are and what we do and with whom we do it and where we are. So
I think that's really important. And I've worked in the Spanish companies that are very strict. And in Spain, you have a 2 hour lunch break, so you can have your siesta. And that's like breaking up your
Really?
day. Yeah. And then you're like, you know, you're stuck in somewhere and you're like, what am I going to do for this time? And it's like you're not speaking to clients. So it's like, I don't even need to be around at this time. Why does it matter? Why can I not finish early? And they do a great thing on the Fridays where they allow you to finish early. So you kind of only work to like say 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and then you're finished. And that's always been really nice. People go to the beach then, you know, and you can use that time. But definitely, I think a lot more companies saw that working remote didn't mean you are not working. And that was the scary part of like
yeah.
when people wanted to work remote before COVID, it was like, oh, but then you're going to be putting the washing machine on instead of at the computer. You know what? I actually put the washing machine on sometimes when I'm at the computer. It takes 2 minutes and you know, I get the washing done. I end up spending a little bit more time working because I've had the
Yeah.
washing done, right? But I don't think they're important. Like, that's not stopping you from doing your job. So again, it depends on the environment you have. I'm really lucky. I have a room here where nobody enters, where it's peaceful and quiet. Well, it is with the headphones on because it's a noisy street. But in general, I don't have, you know, children running in or a husband bothering me or anything. And some people don't have that luxury. They're working in their kitchen and, you know, it's not the same. So it doesn't work for everybody's circumstances. And I appreciate that. But I think it should be what the person wants, and the company should turn around and say, what would you prefer? How do you work best? And you might say, I'd love to go to the office twice a week, or never go to the office, whatever. How are you going to get the job done better? I think that's the most important question you can ask your employees.
Okay, so the future is AI and freedom. That's the
Yes, freedom. I love it. Freedom and more sport, more sunshine. Getting out during the
okay.
daytime when the sunlight is out there is really important.
Okay.
We will
So
use it like a new motto: more freedom.
Yeah. More testing as well. More testing.
Yeah.
okay, I'll try to find the proper terms, and that will be title of the video.
Yeah.
So, but now I think it's time to start closing that recording or that discussion. So that's the last section, and the topic is what you would like to promote, or what you would like to tell the guys and colleagues and friends who watching until now, what we could promote or what we could recommend to.
Okay, so I would say a couple of things. If people are out there and they've never tested before, or they're manual testers and they've never done any automated testing, I would say seriously take 10 minutes, right? I'm going to say 10 minutes. You're only going to need 5, but take 10 minutes out of your day and give Playwright a try. Go through the getting started and just literally create your first test. Just follow, there's a little YouTube video or the getting started docs. In 10 minutes, and actually in 5 minutes, you're going to have tests written and done. And then you can say, wow, this is actually going to help me do a better job. I'm not going to tell you that. You're going to have to make that decision for yourself. But I'm going to say, give it 10 minutes, not an hour, not 2 hours. Don't study, just go and for 10 minutes, give it a try. The docs are there, but also we have a Discord channel. If you are already using Playwright and you want to kind of learn more, you need some help with something, you want to join more members in the community, or maybe you're creating articles and videos and you want to share with people or read other articles and videos, the Discord channel, Playwright Discord channel, link is in the docs. So you'll find the link easily there. Join it. We have some live events in there as well. We kind of like do a Playwright happy hour and just chat about testing and Playwright and whatever comes up. And yeah, it's a really, really nice community. The more people that are part of the community, the better everything is. We can't do this alone without the community. The community is very important to us. Playwright is open source and free. The only thing we ask is that the community help us out in every way possible. Give us feedback, tell us things, share what they're creating, and let's just make it a better world. And everyone do testing.
Okay, cool. Juraj, would you like to promote something? Are you hiring?
Me, I'm still hiring. That we open the continuous hiring because still we need super talented people in our organization. But definitely, yeah, I would like to promote. Yeah, maybe something similar, like Debbie said, that a lot of people are scared to start with test automation, and especially in our company that we have 100% of test automation in place. And it's not like a concern that people are scared to start, but I guess it's very easy. And I'm really happy what Debbie mentioned that to start. I would like to also maybe promote Playwright or maybe some another tools as well. But yeah. But to start, for me, the testing is the most important thing and very important in the whole process. Improve the quality. And what I would like to improve or to promote is to not to fight against the future. I mean against the AI and things, and look on this like opportunity. How to work or to have like better work with these new frameworks and new technologies, and maybe to discuss in the next session how these new technologies Playwright can help us to build better quality in software testing.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Thank you. I have also one promotion, and I'll try to be short.
Playwright. Woohoo!
Almost.
Do you have a shirt that yes, Wolfie?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say advice, but I would like to support one of our friend, Philip Hritz. He's hosting interview with Debbie in 2 days. So if you
yes.
if you are early watcher of this video, in 2 days you could see maybe more technical, less chatty, maybe more code with Philip.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what will happen there.
Neither do
But
I.
it looks
It's gonna be
pretty
fun.
interesting. It looks pretty interesting. So that's my very short promo. So if you are interested in more, or if you are interested in discussion about Cypress and Playwright, then this is pretty interesting event. And join them or us. I hope I'll be there as well. So
Cool.
we'll see
That'll be
what
fun.
what they will share.
We're gonna convert Philip to Playwright. That's the goal.
This is first session of therapy.
Yes, it's therapy. Yeah.
Okay. I will mention Philip on the post to get him ready before the session.
Philip and therapy.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you that
Thank you
you
for having
came
me.
for the
Thank you
the
very much.
chat.